Well, welcome to new Harry's Garage, and yes, the Fiat is back in the garage. Yeah, it all took a bit longer than we all hoped, and there's big reasons for that, which I'll go into more detail, but it's fantastic to get it back in the garage. This is now a 695cc Fiat 500, and to go up to that size involves a huge amount of work, much more than going to 595 as was the original plan. But I'm so glad it's back. I've done a few miles in it, but first of all, let's go and have a check the engine. Unfortunately, this car has a key on the engine lock, and I forgot to get it changed, which is all a bit of a pain. But it just means you have to do it like this. But there we are. Great looking engine, and the whole idea of this was basically to try and keep it as standard looking as possible, because that was the promise to Mrs. M. No, I'm not going to turn it into a hot rod. This is going to be perfectly normal, but it just makes it a bit more drivable. Unfortunately, when it arrived, Mrs. M was around and it was on a recovery truck, and she spotted the extended Abarth sump underneath. So what have you done that for? I said, oh, it's just so it holds a bit more oil. But apart from that, that looks reasonably standard. There is a trick new exhaust on it, as you can see here. But if I look at the standard spec of one of these, well, the original engine is 18 horsepower from 499cc, has a compression ratio of 7.1 to 1, which is nothing. Doesn't even list its torque, but it's 22 pound-foot of torque. It's just so slow. And then this it says performance figures. I think that's slightly overstating it. But fourth gear is 59 miles an hour. And I can remember these in early road tests. If you pick up a motor magazine or autocar from 1972, I can remember they figured this, and I think they managed 60 seconds to get to 60. Which is a minute. So yeah, now everything seems to dip under 10 seconds, but not so one of these. So it was just to get over that, because it was just so slow in today's traffic on original spec. So that's what we did. But we went pretty deep. This is the list of parts on it, and some of the big cost items to get to this stage. Well, number one, big bore kit, 79.5mm alloy Niskel bores and cylinders. That sounds like Porsche spec to me, Porsche 911 Racing. But they're coated aluminium bores, and they're very expensive, obviously come with the pictures, and they were £900 plus VAT to get to the 695. Then there is a new carburettor on there, which is off a 650, so it's sort of a standard carburettor, and that was £241. Next, there's a trick camshaft hiding down there. It just adds a little bit more lift. Rally spec, road rally spec in normal torque. More expensive than I realised. That was £279. New oil pump. I'm trying to think which other big ones. Oh, the Abarth extended sump. That's so it holds 4 litres rather than 2-point-something litres as they do standard. And that just seemed a sensible idea, because although it's air-cooled, it's also oil-cooled, and it just made sense to me, just mechanical sympathy, to have that bigger sump on it. But one of those, £265. And then finally, that exhaust, which is very trick and adds to the performance, £325 for that. There's other things, new engine mounts, light and flywheel, £220. Yeah, that's about it. And then a little bit, we had it delivered up here and stuff, so there's a delivery charge in there as well. And it now sports a compression ratio of 10 to 1, so I have to run this either on super unleaded, or obviously I just filled it up with classic 80, my sustained fuel, because it's reasonable performance. We think the power of this has gone from about 18 horsepower to around 30 horsepower, so not much. And torque is probably double, so it's gone from 22 pound-foot to 44 pound-foot of torque. But first of all, we have to run it in and things. So what I'm going to do now is put in the visit I did to see Steph at Proietti down in London when they were just about to get the engine sort of started for the first time. They had started it, I went to see it at that stage, they hadn't driven the car at all, so I'm going to drop that in now, and when we come back, we'll be out on the road and see how it performs. I love coming down here. It is always a surprise what you see. Look at this, a Beta. And it's rust coloured, but it has no rust.
Not that I can tell, anyway.
No. Which version is it?
It's a 2 litre automatic.
Yeah. An automatic?
Yes.
There is such a thing.
3-speed auto.
Yeah. Well, it's lovely to see. Do you want to lead through?
Yeah,
because you've been working very hard in sorting out the 6.9, now 6.95.
Indeed, yeah.
God, Integrale. Look at that. Proper early, about
16 valve.
Oh, it is a 16. Oh, no, it is. Got valve. Oh, yeah, the wheels. Wow. There's ours.
Yeah.
Which looks fantastic. It just looks great. Really does.
Yeah.
But it hasn't really been that straightforward, has it?
No.
At all.
No. So much modifying. Even I hadn't appreciated how much things needed to be adapted and changed.
Yeah.
Because we lost so much height in the engine block.
In
the height. So all these covers, exhaust brackets, push rods, tubes, push rods, the actual push rods, rockers, literally studs, everything has had to be
studs as well.
Yeah, completely modified.
God.
So it has taken longer than we expected.
So how? What? This is chopped down here then?
It's chopped down there. This one we chopped from underneath.
Right.
And this one we've had to chop from on top, and then folded it a bit and bent it a bit, and just we've had to add metal here.
Good heavens!
But
well, coming in, I didn't notice. That's just as I hoped. I know it's been painful for you, but that just looks relatively sound. My eye goes to this and the red leaves. Hang on a minute, that's not cast iron coming out of there. That's quite special. Love the wired. So 695 now.
Yeah.
And you have had it running.
We have.
And then you said, I'm very sorry, there's a but, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a but. So we had it running, we had lovely oil pressure. Well, we primed it up to start it.
Yeah.
Got good oil pressure, started it up, had it running for ages. Set all the timing up, got it all nice, switched it off, redid the tappets, went to turn it on, no oil pressure. So re-primed it, went again.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no oil pressure. So we thought, what's going on? Found out, realised that there was a drain back issue. So what could it be?
By that, I ought to explain, that's the oil flowing away from the oil pump, and it's having to try to prime itself and struggling, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it should hold oil in there, so it instantly primes itself.
Indeed, yeah. And so, I mean, the obvious thing would have been the oil pump, but we just thought we'll take the sump off to have a look.
Yeah.
See if there's anything, if we could see the drain back. So we took the sump off, adapted a pickup so we could run the engine, or at least crank the engine, and see if it would draw, if the oil pump was drawing, and et cetera, et cetera. And in the end, it could only have been a problem within the oil pump housing. So we stripped it down again, and we did find. Have a look. So you didn't.
It's not an engine out job again.
No, it's all from. So it's this cover here. So you've got to take all the pulleys off and the rear panel off and what have you. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see. So it wasn't even the gears of the pump, but if you can see here, it's not. It's hardly touching here, and so we've got a slight bow in this cover.
God.
And so it was just missing. This middle part here was allowing too much air to get in and draining back.
No. And that is a brand new oil pump. So yet again, it's poor quality replacement parts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just drives you mad, because you wouldn't, looking at it, you wouldn't think it was that out, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, I'm gutted for you.
Yeah. So one of those things. But fortunately, that's all it was. And so we've got we've a texture pressure gauge, just to monitor it as it goes through its peak cycle.
Right. And this is now a running car, which I have not heard. I have not heard this engine run.
Okay, well that'll be good.
So, are you? Yeah. Are you able to?
Yeah, we should
start her into live.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think we should. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Yeah. Oh. That's on a bit of choke, is it? See, that's not bouncing. Have you changed the spring?
Yeah, we put all new bushes in and a new damper plate.
Right. Because they always jump about a bit, don't
But
they?
you don't, as long as you don't feel it through his body.
That just picks up way more than it does. It's used to, isn't it? That's... Wow. We're all good. It went straight on. Yeah, it was
And then you see,
straight away.
when you turn it off, it drains back really slowly.
Oh, okay.
Which is what you want.
I'm going to turn it off. Well, you want to watch that? Yes.
It's still got pressure.
Oh, yes, it's still not on the pin, isn't it?
No.
That's
Whereas
great.
before it was just going, look, right.
Right. And a little bit. I
One
love.
exhaust.
Yeah, I love all that though. The fact that you've actually, done a bit of that heat protection. And you were saying you move the coil to this side.
Yeah, it's just, the coils get ever so hot on this side. And with this type of exhaust, it's hard to create a proper shield
Right.
as well. So I just thought it'd be safer to do that.
So what are you going to do next? What's the next plan then?
So next plan is just go through the steering suspension brakes.
Right.
Just make sure it's all roadworthy. I have spotted a couple of things underneath that we need to take care of. A couple of split CV dry shaft boots.
Right.
And stuff like that. And make sure that it can handle the power.
You've never done really a 695 on a small carb like this before, have you?
No,
So
I haven't.
Yeah.
But I think it will be. I think it'll be good.
brilliant, Steph. Well, I can't wait. The idea is I'm going to take it back home to do drive rather than crowded London and sit in traffic as first drive. So yeah,
Don't blame me yourself.
no, but it looks fantastic. Brilliant. Thanks, Steph. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Back at that workshop, what a place that is. And when you look at the other cars around it, when you go outside, you just pinch yourself. You're almost right in the heart of London. But it's just, I just love the expertise there is there. Anyway, let's head out. Here we go. It's really short first. I'm into third and indicated 30 miles an hour. And into top, fourth gear. Yeah, that's the thing about this. It's short geared because it is made for 18 horsepower and 22 pound-foot of torque. And now it's a 695. It has no problem putting these gears. And yeah, you just on a whiff of throttle. I'm at a indicated 90. Which I know is a true 51, 52 miles an hour. And if that truck goes past, you just hear the sunroof that is standard on all 500s, just the camber sort of rippling, making a sound. But now, as I say, it's just as I hoped, the performance is just there. It's not in any way a quick car, it just makes it more normal when it was very abnormal as standard. If you ever drive a standard 500, it really does come as a bit of a shock, and you've got to go back to Italy, the sort of hill towns, and well, late 50s, early 60s, wasn't it, when it sort of appeared in the 60s, wasn't it? But they sold loads of them because it is so tiny, so convenient, so cute to look at, and yet there's 4 seats in it, and that's mad. But I can't kid myself that we're going to use it lots. But I just wanted to show you the sort of thing we'd probably do with it. And you know, I'm lucky to live in the Cotswolds, and Burford is our local town. And yeah, around Burford, there are little lanes around the back. There's the main high street, and then there's all these sort of little lanes around the back that are medieval size, and it's just like Italy. And if you rock up down these lanes in your Range Rover, yeah, it all gets extremely tight and there's nowhere to park, and you think, oh, I'm not doing that again. if you rock up these tiny little lanes in a 1972 Fiat Cinquecento, everything seems normal size, and you can just fit down here. Look, there's no I could pass a 500 here. This is single lane. It's actually two-way, this little lane I'm on now. A 500 and a Cinquecento and Cinquecento go past each other. No way that a Range Rover would pass, or a normal car would pass another car on this little lane, but here, no problem at all. The other great advantage of a car this size, there's lots of little parking spaces. Look, there's one there. I could go in there if I could. And you can't do that. And look at this. This is painted for Fiat 500s. This giveaway sign here and the painted lights on the road. No chance in a normal car. Cinquecento, no issues. So that's sort of how we're going to use this car. I can see it's local runs and that sort of thing. I always think, what on earth do American tourists think when they come and see the little lanes around these sort of places? It's all very beautiful though. So that's what brings them in. And we've got, as a family, we've got a history with Cinquecentos that Mrs. M just loves them, absolutely loves them, always wanted one. And when we first met, she got one. And the bit that always makes me laugh, my wife's Canadian, she went off to the airport to pick her parents up in a Cinquecento. Their luggage, everything. So 3 up and luggage to stay 2 weeks, and you've never been to the UK before. I would love to be in a fly on the wall the first time Dad got into this. Holy hell, what on earth's this? And it's just fun. But for Burford, absolutely perfect. This is quite a steep hill out of Burford. I can put it into third and just on a whip throttle go up this hill. Well, that is the difference 695cc has made to this car. That hills and things are a non-issue. I was looking at the handbook. The steepest hill a standard Cinquecento can climb is 3.5%, which is a gradient of just nothing. And it can only do 59 miles an hour, and you would be changing into third to get up a hill of 5% gradient, which is, 1 in 20. It's crazy how lack of torque there was in a standard car. Here, yeah, it's fine. So, what's the plan now? Well, we've basically got to run this car in, and I'm not going to go on great big trips or anything, do lots of miles. We're just going to do lots of cold starts, and it's December just round the corner. We all know what that means, and salted roads and the rest of it. So it's going to take a little while to get the miles on this car, I would imagine. Once it's running, then we'll be able to just exercise, just see what it's like at full throttle. I'm quite intrigued by it because it feels fairly punchy already. And there's just I'll go back, have a few snagging lists. I'd like the steering wheel to be straight. I'd like the geometry just to check. It just feels to have a slightly different response left to right. I'm going to check that out. And I might also go to disc brakes as well, just at the front, because then you get a dual circuit and you get a more solid pedal, which I quite like. But basically this car is just fun. I should mention, I put it on the weighbridge and they claim 520 kilos, and guess what? It went 520 kilos. 520 kilos for a 4-seater car. My goodness, how times changed. But yeah, I could have got a Twizy or an Ami to run into Burford. I don't want one of those. I want this. It makes me smile, and it's much more usable. And the great thing is, it just smiles wherever you go in this car. I love how the roof opens, and I look forward to many happy miles in our Fiat 500 refresh, or should I say our Fiat 695, I don't know. So there you go, there's the update on the Fiat 500. It's taken a while, but it's back, and it's in rude health. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.